So it is the day after the raids when I'm recording this Circe video. I had a lot of fun during those raids because I got so many characters done bond wise. I have maybe like 5 characters left to actually worry about bond for appends, and that's it. All my main, and I had like 14 before yesterday started, so I'm very happy. So let's get started talking about Circe. Her recent buff completely brings her over to the side of being a multi-core DPS. Although with recent changes with Append 5, she is also in the same spot as Sanzong, where she's a single target buster servant that can actually do loop farming. Now, for that, you are going to require Append 5 non-negotiable. You cannot do single core farming because this is on a 7-turn cooldown. You need you have actually. Wait, give me a second. No, you need this reduced. Otherwise, instead of being able to bring Oberon, you have to bring someone else that can do cooldown reduction, even a turn. So this is one of those characters where a pen 2 doesn't matter because you're starting from 0 anyway. But back at top, base attack, it is on the lower side, which is like why Black Rail is almost a necessity for her, because otherwise she's just lacking in damage. Like with Black Rail, her add the extra 400 and it's 9,000. This is still not where she needs to be, but it's still better. Most characters can't use Black Rail in like normal farming, especially single targets. So that's pretty much the only reason I'm like giving her that little advantage that no matter what, you're going to be able to use Black Roll with her. Or, sorry, not you can, you should. You should be using Black Roll with a character that can get to 0 to 100 like that single button press. So, HP, it's not terrible, but it's not super high either. Sky attribute, star weight, normal caster stuff, MP charge, 0.93%. I have given this MP gain a little more credit recently, but only because of what characters actually have this MP gain and the type of MP they have. This is around what Ibuki has, but as you can see here, Circe does not have Ibuki's hit counts, and definitely is not having the rest of Ibuki's kit that makes MP gain like this actually worth it. Most of your MPs are going to come from brute force charging, not through carding. Although, if you do carding, like do a mighty chain, you are going to get some stars. And some game, but it's not gonna be crazy that you're actually gonna refund your entire MP. No, you're gonna need at least another battery afterwards. So traits to go through. There isn't a lot. Chaotic, so no lawful good, no lawful female. Balanced, no evil. Sky attribute, can't get the new star one. No animal. Oh my god, I hate chat. I don't get this. I truly don't fucking get this. How the fuck does Shiki get animal characteristics by wearing a hat and a fake tail? But Circe, that has fucking falcon wings, does not count as having animal characteristics. Make this make sense, chat. And she has butterfly. Make this make sense. What the fuck? How to? Moving on because this is gonna give me an actual headache. The only bond point CE you can actually use with Circe is the caster one. Not great. Last thing, Argo related. I believe this gives her a buff from Jason. But I would need to just double check that. Okay, yes, it's Argo related. So they might have changed the wording on this because I could have sworn it used to be like Argonauts, but Argo related does make more sense because it's not just Greek males; it's people connected to the Argo. Right, and Greek males is only a trait because of Penth, not because of Jason. Yeah. All right. So, moving on to the skills. Also, Hick extra attack is weak. He's going to be weak. You'll get some stars because caster, but gain not great because 4 hit plus 0.39. I am now doing monthly $5 giveaways as a way to give back to my channel. I recently hit 500 subs and I want to keep giving back to the people that support me. All you have to do is comment on one of my videos during the month. Doesn't even have to be a video I make that month, and you are entered to win. 5 people can win every month with 1 win per person per month. Only 1 comment is counted as an entry every month. I will send you the prize in a way that works for both of us. Thank you for watching. Now let's get back to the video. So, first skill, high speed divine words, 120% battery. Yeah, and also her overcharge is a crit attack chance down, so you don't have to worry about going for overcharge. It does not matter. Yes, 50% crit chance down, you're not getting crit, but you don't need to focus on it that much. Like, you would be better off just trying to loot farm because it doesn't increase your damage at all. But yeah, 120% battery. It's on a 7 turn. That's why you need Append 5. Bring this down to 6. And then you can pop this skill, double Vitch battery. 3rd turn, pop this again. And if you want to bring any kind of damage buffers, you can. Something to note, if you have this maxed out, plus you bring in Oberon, you are 10% off getting overcharged too. So it's either you dump it on Circe trying to get overcharged too, which I see less point in that, versus you using Oberon's batteries on a different DPS. And this one specifically isn't talking about double Vitch. I'm talking about in general. If you're trying to do more multi-core stuff where you have, like, say, Alco. Because Alco can do that cooldown reduction too. Is she a better option than... Yeah, is she a better option than Vitch? Not necessarily, but she does have like, if you're using Circe, you're probably fighting an assassin. So it really does just depend. Like, you might get away with Alco or not more than Vitch, but again, Alco for that takes up more party costs because you have to use, like, K-scope or something. But moving on, back to Circe in her general use specifically. Poison and defense down 3 turns. So this is on a 5-turn cooldown, meaning with Append 5, this is technically on a 4-turn. But because of how you use Circe in Vitch farming, you're not double stacking this in 1 turn. And I don't think you should. You can do this back-to-back turns, which I think is the best benefit. Just do this back-to-back turns, and it benefits both if Circe's the only DPS, it's going to benefit her turn 2 and 3. And if Circe isn't the DPS, well, you can kind of just pop this whenever you need to, right? But yeah, it's going to depend on your party comp. Yeah. 3rd skill. This is what got buffed. This skill was not good before. It was a pretty shit skill because not only was it only star gen and a cleanse, sometimes you wouldn't need the cleanse, and a 50% star gen, that does not guarantee arts cards to crit. I mean, not crit, gen stars. This is not a guaranteed way to gen stars. So really, it just helped Circe out with some star gen because she has a multi-hit Buster MP. But for the rest of the party, not that great. Buff skill turns her into the multi-core DPS I'm talking about. Now, these numbers are low. Trust me, they're low. But it's the fact that she has all 3 of these is what makes it more worth it. So 15% arts, 15% buster, and 15% MP damage for the entire party. Normally, when you have the double card buffs, this would be 20. But they slapped on this MP damage. So not only does this affect carding, it's also going to double dip and affect your MP. And not just Circe's MP, the other units you use with her. So if you're doing multi-core, it shouldn't be a quick DPS, either arts or buster, and you are going to be more likely to click those cards, those face cards, if you need refund. But most people, when they do multi-core, they're not planning to crit, they're planning to kill on MPs. So this is just more party planning stuff. If your Circe is weaker, you can just build your party around it easier than you were before. Circe helps out way more with party-wide damage. And if you are doing multi-core and your DPS is self-sufficient, like they do not need, they don't need like Vitch to get them to MP, like they can do it on their own. Like say it's someone like Arquid, you are pretty much set at that point. Like you don't have to worry about anything. Like Arquid is gonna get the benefits of this. Ruler Melisyn would work too because she can start from 0 as well. Nitocris, if we're going back to 4 stars, Nitocris can do this because she has the same type of battery. She can go from 0 to 150, if I'm not mistaken. Like I think her battery is even bigger. But she would work well with Circe because of this. So yeah, you have way more options to use with Circe, and because if that DPS is self-sufficient, it does mean you can get the full benefits of buster farming, meaning you double stack this skill. In which case, Circe becomes an even better support. If she's able to double pop this, because this is also on a 6th turn, you can double pop, and because it's 6th turn, you can double pop this on the 2nd turn, meaning if Circe's doing damage turn 1, the other DPS is going to have this fully ramped up at 30% each for the next turn. Moving on, passive skills, 8% arts, debuff success rate up 10%. It would have mostly been for this, but it's also her MP. But over time, her MP kind of has just gotten nerfed. Because you can't have a special type of stun that bypasses all other stuns and not have a counter for that. Like that. I remember reading that in an interview that like the devs were like, you're asking us to permanently add something to the game for the future just for a gimmick. And Nasu was like, yep. Let's get it done. It's funny. Like I'm not gonna lie, it is a funny MP animation. It is funny to see some like the enemy actually be a piggy, and then not being able to move because they're a piggy. All right, moving on to appends. Like I said, this is priority number 1 above any other append. If you don't have this unlocked, she's not able to do buster farming unless that other DPS is able to do cooldown reduction, aka Ibuki. You would need Summer Ibuki to do it and do it well, and even still, she might be lacking battery. You probably are gonna have to do some kind of carding for her, because yes, she does a lot for multi-core. She does not have slow charge or an AoE battery, which would make it even like chef's kiss, but you can't do that. And seeing as she just got this buff, I highly doubt we're ever gonna get a high-speed divine words buff that also gives a 30 battery. I think that is far and above too much for a buff. Like this is an instant battery that goes above 100. I don't think something like this should ever get buffed. Because like going 0 to 100 is worth almost any price you can cost. Like 7-turn cooldown, that's not even a big deal anymore. If they want to buff this, they would have to add cooldown, and I don't want them to do that. And I don't think they ever will, because gacha games only move forward, they don't go backwards. Or at least FGO doesn't go backwards for the most part. And if it does, they try to fix that shit as soon as possible. Alright, MP. 5 hit, single target. Inflicts Pigify. Only works on enemies immune to Pigify. Or only works on enemies except immune to Pigify. So, there are not as many servants as you might think that is actually immune to Pigify, because this is a trait people have to have, not a passive like it is Odysseus. It's now a trait. What do you notice about every single servant on this list? Almost every single servant here is either divine, a divine spirit, or non-human in the first place. That non-human part is not guaranteed either, because you have Tamamo not being here. But for the most part, it's like it is servants with divinity and like higher levels of divinity. Which, I mean, it would make sense, because like think about Achilles not in FGO, but in Fate, like in the series, it is said that you can't even like Achilles can't take damage unless it's on his heel or someone with divinity, which is why he's like scrapping with Chiron at the end of Apocrypha, and like it is a full slugfest, because Chiron was the only person with divinity that could actually land hits on Achilles that just bypasses his normal divinity. So if you use that logic, it would make sense that anyone with stronger divinity than Circe couldn't be turned into a pig by Circe. That would be like a child is able to beat ants, but obviously a child is not going to be beating an adult. Like higher planes of existence type of shit. Yep. No, we still have Circe open. All right. Last part, besides it being just a stun, removes all their offensive buffs. I do kind of like how they're cleaning up this site and making it so like more drop down stuff. I do like this. So these are all everything that's considered an offensive buff. Oh my god, I hear kids crying about going to school or something. I'm about to get distracted if I don't finish this soon. Okay, so like I said earlier, overcharge, crit chance, doesn't really matter. Is it nice to have more crit chance down? Yes, it means your character basically stays alive longer. If you're doing esports, this is a demerit. You want them to crit your weak servant so you can keep cycling new servants in. Bond CE, party MP gen, and party MP damage while she's on the field. This Bond CE makes so much more sense now. They want her to be multi-core. This buff is multi-core. Now, a lot of characters have AoE buffs, but this one specifically, MP gain with an arts buff, MP damage with another one, and buster. Am I saying that you should make her a grand? No, but this is not a terrible Bond CE for her. It benefits the other servant more than it does her, but I mean, does it need to be any? Does she need better MP gain when she has 100% plus battery? I didn't think so. All right, peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.